So it's been a minute. I'm going to tell you about my March and April. Back in the last year, unfortunately, my landlord passed away. So the family took over the estate, and all was well. And then, second week in March, we were told we're selling the house. Which means the allotment that we'd started, the land that we were on, the house, all done, gone, going. So yeah, kind of put paid to everything. Which means for the past kind of 6-8 weeks, we've been looking for a house. Now, it may be quickly clear, we no longer have the sweeping vistas of North Yorkshire anymore. So we've moved, we're in a new house, but thankfully the landlord is, it's a big garden. It is a big garden, and the landlord is happy for me to do this whole YouTube thing around an allotment. So we're starting over, which is really frustrating because it is now like, I don't even know what date it is. It's middle of March. And to recap, because we moved, or because we've been in the process of looking for a new house, a lot of the stuff didn't get planted because I didn't know if we'd be carrying on. I've no polytunnel still, so I am getting one, but it's going to be, it's cost me so much money for this move, for the deposits and rent and removals and all this kind of thing. I'm just kind of behind on everything at the moment. I've got a handful of plants. I've really poorly planned my planting as well. I have got more kale than I know what to do with, and have space to plant, which is good. We can pick out the strong stuff. But yeah, we're not in a bad place. It's not too late in the growing season. It could have been worse. It could have been that he gave us this news in June, in which case that's the year done. There's not really any rescuing at that point from June. So yeah, it's one of those things. We've just got to deal with it. But we have a plot. I am just literally planting up some spinach now. Sowing some spinach and some nasturtiums. One of the other, and you'll see this when we go and start it, is I've got some enriched topsoil, so it's compost and topsoil mix. For some, we're going to do no dig, but I don't suspect it's going to be enough to cover the whole of the beds. So yeah, we're still going to have to module sow for the time being. It is what it is. And again, we haven't got a polytunnel, which means we've got a window with what was a clothes area, which I've respectfully taken control of, and that is now a mini greenhouse shelf in the window. But yeah, so I'm going to get these potted up. I'll take you down to where the allotment is. Now I know what you're thinking, this is a lawn, and you'd be right. So let's remedy that. I mean, it's a start.
Moonlight shine on a low tree, casting shadows on the road to where you'll be. Silent echoes in the evening night, chasing phantoms of a past time. Your letters warm and creased with age, words of comfort from another page. In the quiet whispers of your name, lonely footprints in an endless game.
So we're embracing no dig. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is it is now week 2 in May. We're only just in the property literally yesterday, so we have, or I am very, very far behind schedule. So this is the quickest way to get growing space down. Second reason is because it's a really flat lawn. There is a bit of a tilt, but the lawn itself is relatively flat. This is a really easy way to do that. It saves the back-breaking work of having to dig out the turf and then dispose of the turf and things like that. So Yeah, so there's a couple of good reasons for it. Secondly as well, the grass underneath, we've got another layer. So what we've got is we've got a layer of cardboard underneath, and then we've got some enriched topsoil on top of that. Now the reason we haven't gone for straight up compost on top is I've done this before with compost on top, and you still get sort of stronger weeds, docks and things like that coming up through the cardboard and then through the soil. And the reason for that is the way that plants work is even the smallest, dimmest little bit of light will cause them to climb up and will cause that seed to germinate. So by using an enriched topsoil on the bottom layer, it's very, very dense. I mean, this is very, very fine. It's almost like sand. It is dry, but that should cut out the light. And then we're going to put another layer of compost on top of that, up to around 5 inches, 5 inches depth, and that should be plenty for planting. By the time roots start hitting down into the bottom of the cardboard should have started to rot, and those roots will get through. Also, the grass underneath, just without the lack of light, will decompose. So, yes, we have growing space now. So I am going to, and I've run out of soil now, so I can't do any more. This was a 1100 litres of the enriched topsoil. And when we talk about enriched topsoil, that's basically topsoil, and there's about 20% of compost in there. But yeah, so it's a good start. It's a quick start. We've been in the new house for 48 hours, so I'm happy that we have the allotment is back on. The YouTube channel is back on. Yeah, let's see where we go. Just realised I've lost the footage of building the frames for the beans. So we've got the canes up now for the beans. So this is going to be where our Firestorm is going to grow, which should be our higher growing set of beans. The plan is to run 5 plants maybe up each side, so that'll be 10 plants in total, which should give us heavy crops. So we've got those here, and then we've got one frame here for the cobra. There will be another, because I've got a few cobra plants. I'm going to get them in, so they're going to grow up a wigwam, and we're possibly going to put another wigwam at the back, but we'll see. We have got to wait for more compost to be delivered. I'm really low on compost, and these plants need to be going in. So I've got a couple of bags there, but yeah, I need to wait until payday till we can get more stuff. So whilst we've got this soil, it isn't ideal, so we're going to do some pocket planting with what compost we've got. So that's the plan. The beans aren't looking extremely healthy right now. They've turned yellow, which just basically means that the compost that they're growing in, you can start to see that they're dying off. We do have some more of these, but the yellow leaves, or the yellowing leaves, that just tells us that there's lack of potassium in there. It's a little bit dry, but that's just because of the sun. They've not been had a lack of water. It is just a case of they've run out of feed in there. We're going to go with them anyway, because we've got to. But yeah, they should have been in. I say should have been in a while ago. They should have gone in probably last week after the final frosts. But it is what it is. So what are we doing today? So the plan is we're going to get these beans in and start to get them on the go. As I say, we're going to do some mounded pocket planting, so we'll walk through that. We're also going to put in a row for the rocket, so we're going to do a couple of clumped growing areas for the rocket. We're also going to put in another row of the white icicle radishes. They did really well in the old plot. There's quite a lot still in there, and we have picked a few and eaten them. Yeah, so that is the plan. So there we go. There is the frame. Let's go and put something on it.
Longing hearts and broken wings, love's a melody that sorrow sings. In the twilight, grief and grace, memento ghost that wears your face. Old guitar in the corner, dust and pain plays a tune in the lonesome rain. Every note a sigh, a tear, mourns the days when you were near. Crickets echo in the still of night. Stars are dim without your light. Soft wind carries your sweet refrain through the fields of loss and gain. Longing hearts and broken wings. Love's a melody that sorrow sings. In the twilight, grief and grace. Lament the ghost that wears your face. Longing hearts and broken wings. Love's a melody that sorrow sings. In the twilight, grief and grace. Lament the ghost that wears your face. Oh, guitar in the still of night. Stars are dim without your light. Soft wind carries your sweet refrain through the fields of loss and gain. Longing hearts and broken wings. Love's a melody that sorrow sings. In the twilight, grief and grace. Lament the ghost that wears your face.
So that is the beans put in. Obviously we're going to put them in on the other side as well, off of camera. But yeah, so as you can see, hopefully, you can see that what we've done is we've pocketed, so we've dug a hole just wide enough to fit the plant in. We've dropped compost into the bottom. We have put a little bit of liquid feed in there as well. We've then watered the hole. This is the key thing. We need to get water into that ground. It hasn't rained in 2 months, I don't think. So it's been a very, very, very dry start to the spring. So you've got to get that water in there. We've then put the plants in. We've then watered them again into the top of the plant. And then we've put a mound of compost over the top. Now, normally you would water that in. However, what we want to do is we want that to stop the water from evaporating within the plant. So that is essentially just being a bit of a shield. So that is pocket planting in a nutshell. Very, very simple, cost effective. Eventually this whole area will be mulched with actual compost when it's delivered next week. So we will raise the depth of this. Currently it's only sat at around 3-inch depth of this topsoil mix, but we need compost in there. Topsoil mix is fine, it is enriched with compost. However, it won't be to the nutrient levels that we need. It's probably nutrient level wise more for grass than anything else. So we will be feeding it with more with actual compost when it comes in. So we'll be doing that next week. But yeah, so that is half of the beans put in. That's 5 bean plants put in. These are the Firestorm beans, so they should grow quite prolifically. We're going to put another 5 in on that side, and then eventually we may wire this up this week. It's a little bit of a breeze blowing. We want to protect the plants as much as possible, but yeah, we're all good to go, I think. So fingers crossed we've caught them in time. We should start to see those leaves green back up again. But yeah, so I'm going to get the other 5 in, and then we're going to cover what's going in there. What we have done, by the way, and this is a little tip for anybody who wants to keep a plan in order, is just drop a little note. You won't be able to see the writing on there, but on that tag in the middle, that tells us what we're going to be planting in here. So we've got the Firestorms obviously going in there. We're also going to be planting some nasturtiums at either end of the canes, just to add a bit of colour and get those pollinators in there. And we're also going to put some marigolds around the edges as well. We have got some marigolds in a tray, so we may plant them up as well. and then this bed is all but done. I'm debating on the marigold whether to wait for the mulch, but I may stick them in now. We will see. But yeah, so that is the beans in. Not bad, but yeah, we will get this bed finished today. Okay, so this is bed one. Bed one is going to mainly be our kind of a mixed bed, our shallow growing stuff. So in here we're going to have rocket. We're going to put our white icicle radishes in here, and we're going to put some calendula in here for some nice colour. Tops it up with some compost. This will do. Again, we're going to mulch some more in later on when we get our full delivery, but for the moment this should be enough to get us going. We've wet the subsurface, we've given it a nice soak in, again with a nutrient bath as well, so there are nutrients in that water, and we're now just going to give ourselves a nice covering of the compost. Again, it's not going to be a thick covering. Realistically, this is supposed to be kind of 4 to 5 inches deep, so that would be the aim. We are getting timbers as well, which are going to bank all this, so it's not all falling onto the grass, but again, it's in the offing, but not yet. So let's get this out. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to get the nutrients that are in the compost, and we want to wash them down into that soil a little bit. So I'm going to get some more water. When we moved, I left my hose pipe. So I've got no hose pipe at the moment, so it's just a watering can. It's all gone wrong. But hey, listen, it is what it is. Right, let's get some water. Okay, so that will do. That'll give us a good bit of moisture in there, just so we can get the seeds in. So I'm a big fan of rocket. It's one of my favourite green leaves. Sort of mixed feelings on rocket. Some people love it, some people don't, but I am a fan. So we're going to put, the sun travels over here, so this is full sun all day. Probably could make better use of this bed, but I'm conscious of we're going to get shade from the beams which are there, and the shade is going to hit shade is probably going to hit around 3 p.m, 4 p.m. So we'll just have to take that into consideration when we're putting our seeds in as what we want where. So my thinking is the calendula we're going to put in the corners, maybe a nice clump in the middle, bank it with the rocket, and then we're going to have a nice collection of radishes here. That's my thinking anyway. So yeah, right, let me get my rake. Okay, so we're going to start off with the rocket. We're going to get the rocket seeds in first. So my thinking is if we go rocket here, on this back, this is not the best compost to work with, especially for seedlings. I'm not overly impressed with it, but it is what it is. If If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So let's just stick with a couple of banks of the rocket. Okay, and we're just going to finally kind of cover that over. We're not going to give any depth of cover, just enough so that the wind doesn't blow the seeds. The seeds are so fine, we don't want the wind to take the seeds away. So we're just going to cover that over lightly. And that should come through nicely. Right, so onto the radish. Now the radishes are white icicle like radishes. For those who don't know, they're a bit of a, I'd say a sweeter flavour than your traditional kind of the little red radishes. But it's very good. You still get that nice peppery fire in there. So we're going to put a few of these in. So with these ones, we're just going to put a little bit of a trench, about 1.5 centimetres deep. I've always found is a good kind of spacing. But the good thing with radishes is actually you can get them quite close together. They grow really well. They only grow quite shallow as well. So this one they should perforate through the cardboard enough. But yeah, so we're going to do 2 banks of them here. Okay, so forgot to put my charger in, but that's all planted up now. So we've got a strip of rocket here, We've got radishes going in rows here. We've got some radishes here as well, and we've got some calendula pocketed around. That's just going to bring out that colour and get the pollinators in. So that bed is pretty much done. I'm not going to water it now because it's too hot. So we'll leave that natural kind of, that existing moisture in there. But it's quite damp, so we'll do that and then we'll water it again as the kind of sun just tapers off. But that is bed 1 completely done. So in there we've got rocket, radish and calendula. So there you go. So we've got the starts of the new allotment, which is crazy. It's like week 2 May. But we've made a start, which is good. Bear in mind we thought we weren't going to do anything, so happy days. We are under the cosh with this lack of compost issue, but it is what it is. So yeah, so until the next one, guys, I'll see you soon.
And a bag of sugar down the old allotment road. Dad's weathered hands did toil. The days were long but oh so slow. He'd hum a tune of yesteryears. Skies neither black nor blue. Memories grow in furrowed rows of sorrow and a few. Rusty tin and wooden beams, a shack that saw no prime. In each planter's lonely dreams, whispered tales of borrowed time.
earth and sweat, a solemn blend. There beneath the sheeting rain, seasons marked a gentle end, fields of joy